Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba Hashem, Rekakwadash, double honors to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching and truth and sincerity. Man, honestly, I guess in the spirit, I would name this lesson The Last Generation. Lord will, you are edified. I had to do a pre-recorded lesson from the YouTube platform Twisted Crimes. And to be honest, I just started, but I was overwhelmed in the spirit to do a video. As you can see, entire family ambushed and shot at their son's funeral ceremony just 13 days after he was killed. Fair use. Let's start it over. And just based on the title for this video, entire family, etc., let's go to Genesis, the 6th chapter, and verse 5. In the NLT, Yahweh observed the extent of people wickedness on the earth, and he saw that everything they thought or imagined was consistently and totally evil. So Yahweh was sorry he had ever made them and put them on the earth. It grieved his spirit. And Yahweh said, I will wipe these people I have created from the face of the earth. And yes, I will destroy every living being, all the people, large animals, the small animals that scurry along the ground, and even the birds of the sky. I am grieved I ever made them, and America will be destroyed by nuclear destruction and the coming of Yahweh Shah, because Yahweh Shah will send missiles on this place, and rightfully so. Rightfully fucking so. This is crazy, y'all. Broad daylight.
See if we can get any kind of divers here. We're going to need this weapon.
I saw this young man shooting with something that I saw in Vietnam or something. You know, how is that possible?
Don't retaliate, communicate.
Because the government is placing these guns in these impoverished neighborhoods. How does local thugs have access to get these artillery weapons? How is that possible? How do they have the connections unless the government is behind the scenes selling these assault weapons, okay, with third-party usage?
Don't go out there and take it upon yourself, because we never get justice that way.
Two men in black masks showed up at a funeral and shot at anyone and everyone they laid their eyes on. A day that was supposed to be a mourning day and a peaceful sending off. day for John Hornizes, who passed away 2 weeks prior, ended up becoming a day that turned into a movie-like scene, when his ops pulled up at the funeral ceremony and tried to kill all his remaining family members and his friends. They showed up in black mask, sneaked in the church where the funeral was been held.
Yo, let me get a precept. Salakia. Let me get a precept. This is Amos chapter 7 and 17. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, your wife shall be an harlot in the city, and your sons and your daughters shall fall by the sword. So this man was killed by the sword, and his family members, okay, was also punished by the sword based on what? Poor decision making from him. From him. And these two niggas, okay, with no respect. With no respect. He's dead. But guess what? That's not enough. That's not enough.
And they caused complete havoc by shooting his family members and anyone around. It was all captured on multiple cameras. All this started days prior when John was targeted, but two innocent bystanders, Betty Averitt and Jacqueline Mahalik, were also shot. This is a very messy story that involves so much victims and suspect.
You got 2 in custody.
Why in the world will anyone attack a funeral home and shoot everyone on site? Well, let's find out what really happened in this tragic story. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories. This story takes us to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. John Hornizes Jr., age 20, was an ambitious young man who lived life like most young men in the city. He loved to play basketball and had a good future ahead of him. He was kind of caught up in the fast life in which he did some not so good things but not the worst things. A day before he was going to be killed, he posted a video of himself online with his friends throwing gang signs and doing all type of things in the video. He never knew he had just one more day to live on this earth. He had beef with some other young men about who was going to control a certain block and what was to be sold there and whatnot. He was posting videos online about him living his best life, not knowing the other young men had very bad plans for him. Things got crazy when the two group met at a party and had a problem over a girl. Sharon Troutman mentioned to John, "It is not over, watch over your back." Just one day after that, this young men, Jalone Hines, age 21, and Sharon Troutman were hiding in a gas station waiting on John to pull up. When they spotted him, they opened fire sporadically, aiming at anyone. They did not care that someone else was at that gas station. Jacqueline Mahalik, age 33, and Betty Averitt, age 59, who were going about their day like every other people, were shot and killed in the senseless shooting. John, who was their main target, was also hit too, and he was found dead with a gun on his side. Police were shocked as to how this young man had no respect for the community or anybody who lived there. Police were finally able to arrest Sharon Troutman and Jalone Hines for the murder of those
Matthew 24 and verse 12. And because iniquity, wickedness shall abound, continue, right? Continue. And it's progressing. Each second, each minute, each hour, okay? Which bring forth a day bring forth a week bring forth a month bring forth a year. This fucking place is getting worse and worse. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Niggas is coming inside of funerals, masked the fuck up, shooting at family members. Back in the day, family members, in most cases, were off limits unless they had some connections in their hands in the dirt. But other than that, niggas wasn't doing this 20 and 30 years ago, man. These niggas they don't give a fuck. They're modified based on social engineering and drug use to do the work of Satan. This is crazy. And then you had the audacity days before to pull up at a gas station, hitting 2 women along with him. But from a spiritual side, it was judgment on those 2 women for whatever they did.
Three people.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
In other news, Mississippi residents are going to be happy to hear this. It just came out.
We are here to highlight the arrest of 2 men in connection with the October 15th shooting incident that killed 3 people on the 300 block of Cedar Avenue. A tremendous amount of work was put into.
Yo, we don't have to watch the whole thing. So let me go to Ecclesiasticus. Slovakia. Or Sirach. GNT format. All right. It states a large family is nothing to be desired if the children are worthless. Godless children are nothing to be proud of, okay? And that's the reason why that nigga, got murked out, okay? And he wasn't a child, he was a grown fucking man. And the Most High sent 2 henchmen at him to execute judgment on him and those 2 women. But damn, no matter how many children you have, don't look on them with pride unless they fear the Lord. And these niggas who did the shooting and the nigga that died, they did not fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Don't put much hope in their future or expect them to live a long time. And that's the reason why that nigga got gunned down and these other 2 niggas will sit in prison for the rest of their lives, okay? 1 child who does the Lord's will is better than 1,000 who do not, okay? And this is ultimately going to the elect, so I will read this also in the KJV. It is better to go to your grave with no children at all than to have children who are godless. So let's go into Ecclesiasticus 16 and verse 1. There are not a multitude of unprofitable children, neither delight in ungodly sons. So we just seen individuals that are classified as ungodly sons, though they multiply, right? Meaning what? They have kids and their kids have kids, all right? Or they may link up with gangs. They can multiply in that way, or any other criminal activity where they're joined together, which bring forth numbers. Though they multiply, rejoice not in them, except the fear of the Lord be with them. Trust not you in their life. Right. Because although that guy made it beyond 14, 15, 16, he still died in his early 20s. Trust not you in their life, neither respect their multitude. So yeah, it's a lot of them. But guess what? Their ending is ultimately death or the grave. For one that is just is better than 1,000, the elect, and better it is to die without children than to have them that are ungodly, these niggas. Okay? For by one that has understanding shall the city be replenished, and ultimately that city is the city of Israel. And that one is what? The 144,000. Okay? But the kindred of the wicked shall speedily become desolate. Lord, will you were edified. Shalom.